Lou and Jackie here, being joined by our good friend Kim Baer. Good to see you, Kim.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Another lovely lady who joined us for Celebrity Servers, honoring Young Women's Resource Center. So we thank you so much for that.
That was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was a great night, great dinner, and for a great cause.
Yes,
there
it
you
was.
go.
Actually, here, you said you liked me with my hat on.
Oh,
so
yeah. So, where's your mustache? Yeah.
It's right over
Jackie's
here.
missing her mustache.
Mine finally gave up last night, so I'm not
feel
able.
more comfortable.
Yes, I do.
Ma'am, can I help you? Would you like anything? Is your water full?
Yes. I'd like a pizza, please.
Okay. Well, this is nice, isn't it? Okay, anyway, so this is what we were doing last night, but what we're talking about this morning is maybe getting a different job, and it's very job related, and something that people really need to think about.
They do. So I thought we'd talk about non-competes.
Okay.
And we get lots of calls at our office. People either, if they're a business owner, they want to make sure that they have non-competes either for their employees, or maybe they're going to sell the business and they want to have a non-compete for the new new owner, or the new owner wants a non-compete against them. Or people call and they've signed a non-compete and now they want to switch jobs, and they seem to have the impression that it's not valid. That
in Iowa.
In Iowa.
That's usually what you hear.
And which is not true.
It's a right to work state, Kim.
It is a right to work state, and the courts don't favor non-competes, but what the law is in Iowa is that if it's drafted properly, it is enforceable.
Now, what businesses are we talking about here? Is it just media related businesses, or is it just business in general?
As you say, we're used to that here in the broadcasting world, but outside of this world, I'm like, do other people use this?
Yeah, other people use it. I mean, I've seen it in the physician settings.
Really?
Yes. There are some practices here in Iowa that use it when they hire new doctors.
Now, why would they do that?
Because that doctor is going to develop a patient base, and if that doctor leaves, they don't want them to take the patient base with them.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've seen that. I've seen it in sales jobs. I've seen it, especially sales, because you're going to have pricing. You're going to have customer lists. Yeah, so really we've seen it in restaurants where somebody's going to have access to recipes. So we've seen it really in a wide variety of places. So what you need to know, I guess the takeaway today, is that a non-compete is enforceable if it's drafted properly. And so there's really 4 factors that the court looks at. The first one is the geographical area. So for instance, if I'm working for you, let's say I'm in sales, and you hire me and you say, okay, great, Kim, I'm offering you this job, but you're going to have to sign this non-compete because I'm going to give you my customer list, and you're going to see our pricing and everything, and I don't want you to steal that and go down the street and work for my competitor. If you're only in the Des Moines area, then the non-compete I sign needs to really just be the Des Moines area and maybe a little bit farther out, but it can't be all of the Midwest. I mean, if you don't have offices anywhere but Des Moines, the court's probably not going to uphold me not being able to go to Illinois or Minnesota to work, because I'm not competing with you.
It has to be within reason.
It has to be within reason. That's exactly right.
All right.
Then the length. What we typically see with regard to time frame is usually 1 to 2 years. Now, I have seen it longer, and it has been upheld longer. For instance, in businesses, if we're selling a business, it's very normal to have a non-compete that might be 5, 7, 10 years long.
That much?
Yeah, so let me tell you why. Let me give you an example. And I'm working on a case in my office right now where we're drafting a non-compete and somebody's selling a business. Okay. So if Jackie has a clothing business and I'm going to come in and buy the business from her, I don't want Jackie to move down the street after I pay her. Let's say I pay you $100,000. Now I've bought your business. I'm going to open up this clothing business. I'm excited. It's really not fair then for you to go down the street and open up a competing business. So I want to make sure that I'm buying the business and that I'm not going to have to compete with you. And so in those settings, that's where we typically see 5 years, 7 years, 10 years.
It's like a 5-year buffer.
Yeah, exactly.
Before there's direct competition.
Before there's direct competition. And so that's what we just want to make sure is that, and that's something that's negotiated as part of the transaction. I would advise any business owner who's selling a business to, or somebody who's buying a business, to make sure that you have one of those as part of your contract, because otherwise you're going to have issues. I mean, let's say that I buy the business from you, and then Lou's got a clothing business, and you're really well known because you have great taste and you're able to put outfits together, and so a lot of customers follow you. Maybe you're not going to go operate a new business, but you might go work for Lou. Now, all my customers that I thought were going to be coming to me from all this great clothing I just bought might follow you and go over to lose. So I just paid a whole lot of money for not getting what I thought I was going to get.
So that needs to all be stated.
It needs to be stated, yes. Okay. So that's something I would advise. The next type of thing is the type of work. And so the court's going to look at, if I'm working for you and we sell shoes, you can't put in there that I can't go into sales at all. I mean, so you can't keep me from selling makeup or cars, or, I mean, so it needs to be narrowly drafted.
You can't be a shoe salesman.
Exactly, a shoe salesman. So it needs to be narrowly drafted that way. And then the other thing is there consideration? And that's what, when people call me and they want to get out of a non-compete, that's typically the first thing I look at, because I want to know, did you give up something, or were you paid some money for signing that? So let me give you an example. Jackie, if I'm hiring you and it's a brand new job, I can say to you, you can have this job, but you have to sign a non-compete. There is consideration there because I'm giving you the job, and so that's what you're getting for giving up your right to compete with me. Now, let's say you've been working with me for a while and there was no non-compete, and so now I think, gosh, you know, that Jackie, she really has gotten to know my customers, they really like her, I'm going to have her sign a non-compete. If you sign it and I'm not giving you anything additional, it might not be enforceable because there's really no consideration. Okay. So what I tell my business clients is, if you want an existing employee to sign a non-compete, you're going to have to give them a promotion with some additional money. So there needs to be something. Something.
Some type of compensation.
Some type of compensation. And then finally, the last point I wanted to make, let's say that that I own a business and you work for me and I never did have you sign a non-compete, and now you leave me and you're going to go work for Jackie, and you took my customer list and you took my pricing. You know, there should be something I can do, right? And there is. Iowa has a trade secrets law, and the trade secrets law protects those types of things, and it's kind of, you know, like a theft of my trade secrets. And the nice thing too about the trade secrets law is it also provides that I can get attorney's fees if I'm successful. So if you go work for Jackie and you took my customer list and you took my pricing, and I know because now you're calling all my people and you're saying, hey, I can beat the pricing and I can beat that, or maybe you've got my vendor list, I have a claim against you.
Yeah, and there was a case not that long ago, it probably was, now that I think about it, but there was a pizza case.
Oh, yes.
That was here, and we don't need to mention any names or anything, but somebody left one pizza joint that had incredible pizza and went to another place and started making that same type of pizza.
Yes.
And that was a big deal.
Yes, it was a fight over the sauce. It was the family that had the sauce recipe. It had been in their family for years, and one of their cooks left and went to a different place and started making, competitors started making the same sauce. And so that was a trade secrets case.
Who has the proof of proving that?
The plaintiff does. So if I'm the one that's suing, so if he's come to you, now he's working, if I sue, I'm the one that has to prove that he's using it. Now, I might be able to do that through discovery. You know, if I sue you, and I may sue you too. So depending on what you know, I may sue everybody.
I'm going to sue everyone.
Wow.
What are you, a lawyer?
Let's say people are hearing about this and either they're like, you know what, I need to have an employee sign this, or you were just handed this in a contract and you want to make sure it's legit.
Right, you want somebody to look at it.
Is that
That's
common?
something we do. Yeah, absolutely. We look, and have somebody look at it before you sign it. You know, so you really You'd be surprised, Jackie. You'd be surprised.
What if you were in a situation where maybe you're young in your career and you had to sign a non-compete and you didn't realize what this was,
right?
And you signed it because you thought that was the protocol,
right?
And something happens and you're no longer employed by that company anymore,
right?
And you want to go to work doing the same thing, the thing that you have done for however long.
We get that a lot, and the most recent one that I can think of was in a sales job, and it actually was for sale of advertising, and it was a young gentleman, and he was switching companies, and so you always also have the option to buy yourself out of it. And so he came in to talk to me, and I said, oh gosh, it looks like it's valid, but let's see if we can buy your way out of it. And so we negotiated him paying some money to the old company for them to let him out of it. And so
was it a large sum?
No, not in that case, because he was a young guy. Sometimes it can be a lot, and it's up to the company that holds the non-compete. If they don't want to let you out, they don't have to.
Right.
But typically, everything's for sale.
Right.
So typically, if you come up with the right price, somebody will let you out, or maybe they'll say, all right, I'll shorten it from 2 years to 6 months, or so.
Right.
But in some cases, people won't let them out. But I would say most of the time we can get people out.
Okay, so you could look over information in case you want to make sure everything's legit. If you're a company that wants to include this into what their employees need to sign now,
exactly.
Is that hard to write up? Is that a lot of time?
No, what we typically do is we do a draft that has blanks, and so you pay us for that, and then that way you've got the form. And so you can use it over and over and over again. And then, like I said earlier, if you're somebody buying a business, I think it's critical to have it in your transaction documents to protect yourself down the road. So,
all right. Great information this morning. If people want more details, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, we offer a free 30-minute consultation, so just give us a call at 515-279-2000. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
All right, it's 7:41, and we will be right back. This is CW Iowa Live in West Des Moines, and when we return, folks, Bras for the Cause, major league event coming up in just a couple of days. We'll tell you all about it next.